So with that said, it's really nice to meet you guys. I have met several of you over the years as well. I see a couple people already show no John Napoli in the little chat. Again, we've been obviously in the industry for a while. So just want you guys to know that, I have a lot of passion for this industry. And so today's presentation is more educational than selling OSM. At the end of it, John is going to do some information on the different packages and offerings that we have. I think, when you look at social media and digital marketing, unlike maybe like a developed website or postcards, it is a do-it-for-me solution. And OSM really takes that approach of like, through training and education, like we can show you guys what's out there. And then, ultimately, we are someone that can do it for you versus hiring a bunch of employees or doing, or maybe splitting up the workload so that way it's more efficient. So digital marketing in general is always evolving, right? And so today, I really do hope to make sure that you guys are educated about the new things that are coming out with digital marketing. I want to try to break it down into digestible chunks, but we only have, 30, 40 minutes to go through this. So keep in mind, even though we're going to talk a lot about Google and Facebook, that, these same principles apply to Yelp. They're always expanding their stuff as well. Also looking at the impact that can have, and by driving more awareness and trust through digital marketing, you will get more customers. And we're going to have a thriving theme throughout this, which is social, search, and shop all in one. And that is really what we're looking at for the future of this digital marketing piece. I'm going to show you how basically Facebook and Google have built miniature websites right inside their business platforms. Hopefully blow some of your socks off. And for those of you that know OSM, the nice thing is as they launch these features, we're already doing them for those that are out there. So we'll talk a little bit about that again towards the end. So just to start off with, we want to look at the customers. So, basically today we have the 5 generations of the automotive they're buying auto repair. A little less with obviously the silent generations, they drive less. But we have baby boomers. A lot of the people on this call are probably baby boomers, Gen Xers. I am a millennial. So I would like to kind of throw this out there. Earlier this year, I'm at a convention pre-COVID, and there's a keynote speaker that's still talking about millennials like this is brand new news, right? Like, oh my God, we have to prepare for them. We have spent the last 10 to 15 years preparing for us, and we're here. Like, we have the most disposable income out there. We're turning, middle-aged at this point, and no one's really talking about Gen Z, which I have 4 of them, and they're all very digitally driven. I read a fun Gen Z meme yesterday on Facebook that talks about how they are very open-minded or very openly vocal about rights and all this stuff, but they get really anxious when it comes to picking up a phone to make a doctor's appointment, right? That's the Gen Z. They're awesome because they are multitaskers. Like, I used to go around talking about my son who had his PlayStation, his tablet for his homework up, and watching like a YouTube video on his phone, all at once. Like, they absorb that information from all over the place, and they're very quick with that online style. But they've never known what the life was like without the internet, right? And they are 25 years old. So, we've got to start preparing for that generation to have that disposable income, because they will be 25% of that population. And they're emerging from college. They're already working in the marketplace if they didn't go. So, totally different generation than even millennials. And it's something that, as a business owner, we've got to know that they're tied into that online lifestyle. There are people that would rather buy from a local online retailer. It sounds funny to use that word, but than an actual, Amazon. So they do like to use independently owned businesses. They do like to work with local brands. But they are going to rely very heavily on that information on the end. And we're just going to break down some quick searches there. One thing I'll just say real quick, I forgot to, if you have questions throughout this, throw them in that chat box so at the end you don't forget them, or write them down, but we'll have a Q&A at the end of this. We can also pause. We have in several of these webinars during after Sabrina's done, to maybe answer some ad specific ones, but just a quick heads up on that. So breaking down this.
Eric, I would also like to say that we are recording this meeting as well. So we are recording it as well.
Yeah, so we can really make sure that, send it out to share with employees and other members. So when we look at the breaking down the searches, right? Well, we all know that mobile devices are huge. The big draw out of this is that 53% of searches are done on Android devices, and that doesn't even include the desktop ones, right? So this year, I don't know if anybody saw this, but this year, Google My Business, your 3-pack listing on Google, has now been ranked as the #1 source of business for a brick and mortar store, which is used to be website search engine optimization. Website search engine optimization has held that title for probably the last 10 to 12 years as the #1 driver. So they've basically taken that away. And it's because of how many people rely on it, but it's also because of the, tie into the GPS searches, whether it's on a phone, desktop, doesn't matter. And in this industry, whether you're selling tires or auto repair, and a lot of times it's mixed in there, it is one of the most heavily searched industries that are consistently over time, meaning because cars always break down and always need tires, we're always at one of the top search volume lists each month, right? So never is this going to be less important one month over another. What we need to do is figure out how can we create those sustainable futures for our clients, right? It's nice to run ads, it's nice to do pay-per-clicks and all that great stuff, but each one of those has a beginning and end life cycle where digital marketing is a long-run solution. It doesn't happen overnight. Just to touch on this, and we'll go into it more later, but what this shows you is that if you do the things we're going to talk about, you just come up in more searches, right? But discovery searches, which are searches that people do in regards to the products or services. So they might type in, Yokohama tire, Bridgestone tire, oil changes. Those types of searches outweigh direct searches, which is a business name search, 3-to-1. So while we all like to think that our customers are truly loyal, the reality of the situation is that there is a lot of business out there for you to earn. It's just doing the right things to get it. So I'm just going to show you this quick video here. I mean, this is just a quick search that a customer might do. And the reason I want to bring this up again is, as owners, we oftentimes forget, what do my consumers do? Trust is the #1 concern in the industry. So if you have a really bad problem with your car, maybe a tire's blowing out, your brakes are, locked, whatever it is, the #1 thing they're going to look at is that trust value. That has always been the concern even before the internet. And now it's just, digitally documented and there for everybody to see. So the real thing, though, as you saw in that search, is the Google 3-pack. That's what the focus has to be. That's what was ranked #1 for local businesses to be on and the #1 driver of business. And unlike before, it's not just based off of your website to be on. There's a ton of other things that factor into it. So what factors into those results? Well, all of your business information and completion of your profiles. And that's across the board, your Yelp, your Google, your Facebook page. But what we see as the #1 problem with our clients when they come on board, and the reason why they're not getting those searches is because they haven't updated new features and information. Maybe they joined a seminar of ours or were a client of ours in the past and said, okay, you're responding to reviews. What else do you do? A ton of stuff. One is, like, for example, we're going to dive into it, there's new services and product menus that get updated. If you don't update those and your competition does, you could lose that listing, right? As a matter of fact, we're starting to see that happen more and more, where if you don't update new features, your competition does, boom, you're gone. The other thing, too, is making sure that you're utilizing keywords in your reviews inside of your social media to help drive that relevancy. Facebook is now the #1 domain authority. So another big thing along with that is, driving that relevancy, but then actions as well are very important. So, I've had a lot of people ask me, like, hey, my buddy does towing. Can we make sure that I have towing listed on my Google My Business page? Well, if your website and all your synergy isn't about towing, you really don't want to optimize yourself for that, because the more times people search for you and they don't select you, it actually shows an irrelevance for the search, right? So you really want to make sure that you're appealing to them and the information data is accurate, because if they click on your name and take more actions, that's actually going to help secure those. And I put websites on the bottom of the list. They're important drivers of your business, especially when people need that fitment guide. But now it is one of the least important things when it comes to that 3-pack. Still important. Everybody on this call is very educated. There's 1,000 pieces that go into every algorithm in Google, but the most important ones are right here. And so let's take a look at this. This is a Google My Business page on a mobile device. This is where you see this. And again, you know, I mentioned earlier that this starts to look like a miniature website built right inside Google. You have your products and your services. You know, you can set appointments right through the system. They actually have their own appointment setting database, services listed right inside of here. So you guys are all pretty big shops. I mean, you know, if you could tell Google directly through a services page what you have to offer versus having to have them help, you know, jump and skip through your website, what's going to impact your search engine optimization more, right? So before, and I've done it myself, I've taught you guys, hey, you have to have 1,000 services pages, more content. Well, Google just took a major blow to that by allowing us to input that service data right into the Google My Business page. Your reviews are integrated in it. Your About Us page is integrated into it. And Ralph, here we are with CNR Tire, which honestly, CNR Tire had some issues at one point. I sat down with his team, his account manager, and you know, we worked through those issues. We did a great photo package too. I actually saw a lot of those photos the other day that looked great. But what we've done is actually we've gone and integrated their actual tire catalog into that Google My Business page as well. So now and what we're seeing from that is if someone does like a long tail keyword search for like, let's say Bridgestone Potenza or just Bridgestone tires, they're actually coming up with their business listing, not even a 3-pack, right? It's just their business listing right on top, which is massive. We have never seen that before in the 20 years that John and I have been working in business, where a tire search is going to pull up a single directory. And it just shows massive results for that and the services. So these things are game changers out there. Obviously, you guys know about the Google My Posting stuff or Google Posting, but just to highlight on it, it just continues to evolve. And I think if you looked at it, you know, when it first launched, it was very singular focused. It just continues to evolve, right? New product specials. But this is where you're going to want to start implementing some of that social search engine optimization, which, you know, this is a message. So like utilizing specific keywords in those messages are going to or will help your rankings online and just create that synergy. So like, for example, in this post, we see best auto repair shop in Troy, Michigan. That is an example of social SEO, just using your messages with keywords in there versus just, you know, saying, hey, we're a gold certified place. You know, if it's a product launch, you can say, hey, check out our new series of tires. That's what the traditional way of saying it would be. In this instance, if you want to apply that social SEO, you would say, hey, check out our brand new line of, you know, passenger tires or car tires. You know, they're the best value you'll find in, you know, Duluth, Minnesota. So some good examples there. But Google Posting will also send you, you know, a quick snippet each month of how many people look at your post. So that's always cool. And again, just going back into that social SEO and responding to your reviews, I've highlighted examples of keywords inside of your responses. This helps with the filter because that's new. You can filter by the type of review. So again, if I'm looking for tires, I can say click at the top where it's tires. That's where it's pulling. Not only that, but other platforms like Yelp, it's showing that using this type of keywords in your review responses can actually impact their rankings because they're not like Google with the search engine. You guys all know Yelp tends to go with whoever pays money up on top, right? But there are some other tricks to make sure that you're coming up. And the thing with Yelp too is it's a 3-category system. So just having these keywords and services in there will really kind of help with that. I'm going to let John talk more about websites later on in the call. That's what Napoli is going to focus on. But my message on here is going to be more video content. So what social media has proven to us is, you know, video content is king now. I used to just say content is king. More content to your website, better SEO. Well, now we're looking at more video content in all of your profiles. You can use it on your social media. You know, the world doesn't have to be perfect. You could go full scale if you want to, but just getting pictures or videos of your staff talking about why a brake service is important or why you're passionate about selling tires, those types of videos will go further for you and your PR than having a novel and 17,000 pages written out because someone can watch that in 15 seconds. 15 seconds is what you want those videos to be, by the way. So, you know, if you start going into 2 to 3 minutes, so I mean, it is actually easy. Get your selfie stick out. Hey, it's Eric. I work at Optimize Social Media. I'm super passionate about helping, you know, tire dealers and auto repair shops on their social media, we will provide you the best service ever. Just call me for more information, right? It doesn't have to be perfect, but that will get more views and more play than anything out there today. So another quick takeaway. There's a new Google AdWords system out there, launched middle of last year and refined. They actually stole from Facebook, I believe, like their format. So like the great thing about Facebook and what they did is made it easy for anybody to run an ad, right? Pop in a post, boost it. Basically what Google has done is made it so that way you can go into your profile, say I want to run an ad, it's going to pull, you drop a pin on your store, it pulls keywords from your primary business category. You just select the ones you want, put a headline in there, put your website in there, hit play, right? You just have to figure out whatever you want for your budget. So it's easier than ever. I still recommend that, you have someone that's certified, but no, gone are the days where only certified people can do it, is my point. And that's going to move us over to social media. Social media is obviously big. There's lots of different options out there. The reason I really have this up here is to focus on those top two, Facebook and Instagram. Instagram has just dominated Twitter in the last 5 years. Twitter used to be over 30% of the US population. They just continue to have issues. It's really that news platform now. It is still good for a business, and depending on your area, it's out there. But the big thing is between Facebook and Instagram, you are reaching everybody from the silent generation down to those Gen Zers. That's where they are. You can reach somewhere into the realm of 80 to 90% of the US population. As a matter of fact, according to some of those big research institutes, less than 10% of America is not connected to the internet anymore. So those studies are right in there, and Sabrina's got some good numbers on that as well. But Facebook and Instagram, YouTube, of course, for those videos, just huge. But I like you guys to see this because, we all only have so much time and so much money to invest. Where are you going to put that investment? And the reality is that between these two, you're still going to reach people on many of these other platforms. But, having a right strategy, OSM offers support for all of them if needed. So, and it's really brand recognition. Popping over to just Facebook and social media, again, this is that layout that I'm talking about, a little miniature website. You have Book Now. So this is a feature that I don't even have built in here because it just snuck up on us. Facebook just launched their own booking system, right? So now we can book an appointment right through Facebook that sends you a text message and an email when you get an appointment come through there. Yeah, you have to have some slotted times. It does have some integrations, but really awesome tool. But again, we have our services pages, a little bit more social, obviously, being social media here, where you can put your photos and your videos. You can put some of that in Google My Business, but it's much more organized in here and not left up to Google's algorithms, which again, one of my favorite stories on here, I was doing an interview for one of our account managers last year, and I always ask everybody, what's the most important thing about social media for a small business? And she said, I don't buy anything from anyone unless I check out who they are, right? So it's again about that brand. So she says she goes on to see their photos, their pictures, make sure they're community driven, and that's where she would rather spend her money. So again, a really good message there. But moving on from there, you can post your jobs, events, all that stuff right in here. This is a website. Like don't mistake that. It is a business page inside of Facebook, but you have almost as much functionality. Now we're hitting the tip of the iceberg with the product features, right? Tire fitment guides, the appointment setting, just getting into that. But this presentation is about where is the vision, right? Where's it going? So a lot of people are still investing a ton of money into, all these other tools online, but yet these tools are right here. And we all know that the less a customer can click to get actions, the better. So if you're running Facebook ads or have people there, or they're on Google, there's the zero-click marketing, right? So if they can just take those actions right inside Google and they don't need to go to 5 different sites, that is better and it's quicker, and that's what people want, right? So you got to kind of keep an open mind on this stuff. This is another big page for me, posting to Facebook. I can tell you that this is one of the things that most people try to complain to me about is, why do we post such irrelevant automotive stuff to Facebook? And it's funny, before this call, John just got back on board, or John Napoli just talked to Alaska Tire. She's back on our program. She tried someone else, and she's like, I get why you guys post what you do now, right? It's what connects with people. So Facebook's algorithms, they're going to remove posts that are not interesting. I'm the bearer of bad news to all you big guys. People do not care about auto repair. That's why they pay you money, right? So you're going to get a very low impression rate if all you do is spam auto repair stuff and specials all day long. So if you've done the hard work in the years to build your following up, and you want to maximize your impressions, which you can talk to those people every day, you need to remember that social media is about connecting with your community. Now, I do get that a big company like KFC, you know, they don't care. They can stand a 3 to 4%, impression rate. But if you've built up 4,000 followers, you would much rather have, a 15 to 40% impression rate with those. Really, that's one of our battles is, we get someone on that has 35 followers and expects that, posting and ads are going to grow that to 1 million. I'm posting 5 days a week to 35 followers. That's not a lot, right? So growth strategy. So as we look through this video, this is proof in the pudding, just showing you. You guys probably know who Burt Brothers is. I got to go back. Sorry. So we got 4,000 followers on that page. Of course, it's got video, so it's going to take a second. There we go. So we got 4,000 followers on this page. We posted check battery. We're at a 4% view rate with that post. And this is relatively short after, the video was made that we put those winter driving tips, 3% view rate. Not a lot of people seeing that. We're going to go down and just simply ask what a superpower is and why, right? Or what power, up to an 18% view rate. If I went to that post today, it probably has a 40% view rate, right? So you got to ask yourself, are you trying to connect with that community to maximize the backbone of marketing, which I remind you is top of mind awareness, right? Post a picture of a puppy, you're back up to almost that 20% view rate. A few more days, you'd be well over it. So if you can post 5 to 10 times a week, no big deal, as long as you're posting stuff that people find, in relation with. So, I suggest for you guys to really kind of go back and say, what am I comfortable posting? I have clients that let me start with this. OSM uses what we call an 80-20 rule. 80% of our posting is fun and engaging. 20% of our posting is promotion related. So you're going to see a lot of these types of posts when we're maximizing those likes and shares, which grow those followers too, right? Because other people will see the puppy and relate to it, end up liking your page. And then you can utilize your ad budget on actually driving more awareness and services through the funds. But we have a lot of clients that want us to use a 100% rule. After they start to see it and they get it, they would rather us post spaghetti recipes all day long because they start to see that, someone comes in the door and says, I tried your spaghetti recipe, I tried your brownie recipe, or they're commenting on there, and it creates that interaction, right? Those winter driving tips don't really do a whole lot in regards to that realm of that. And it's more of a service announcement. So again, 80-20 rule, and really kind of look at that. I know a lot of the people on here have a lot of followers on Facebook. So it's really how do you maximize that, immediately versus over time. So, and then just a little more on that social SEO. Utilizing social SEO in all, of your messages. So whether it's in Facebook, I'm here just to show you, you can tag those products, whether you're loading them into Google, utilizing keywords inside of the post, linking preferably directly to a page. Like you saw with CNR Tire, we linked that tire to their page. We typically only do that much when it's one of our websites, FYI. I did some special stuff for him. And the reason being is a lot of times those links die over time. So we kind of have to take responsibility for them. But you want to do stuff like that if you can. And it just helps match up that relevance. So again, if you're going to post a service, try to send them to a brick service page versus just to your homepage. And with that said, I know that it's very exciting. We have Sabrina here from Facebook, and like she mentioned earlier, she works with us. Just to give you an idea, OSM spends well over $1 million a year for just in the automotive industry on ads with Facebook. And Sabrina actually literally looks at all of those ads and grades us on them, right? So she's always helping us improve those weekly meetings with us and working with us. But she probably has more experience with Facebook ads and the target automotive industry than anybody else inside of Facebook, just FYI. So Sabrina, with that said, turn it over to you.
Thanks, Eric, and hello, everyone. Again, thank you so much for having me today. It's lovely to meet all of you. So back to a little bit of my Facebook experience. I've been here for about 1.5 years, and I personally manage in my book of business over $40 million of ad spends per year. What all that just means is I'm in charge of helping money spent on Facebook go further when you invest in ads. I recognize that every single penny counts when you're a small business owner, and so a large part of my job is to dive into your ad accounts just like yours and help to provide recommendations of Facebook best practices to see the best results physically possible. Next slide, Eric. So advertising on Facebook has truly improved dramatically in the past few years. We've taken Facebook ads from promoting simple engagement, such as gaining followers or page likes or comments, to actually leveraging machine learning to better predict user behavior and needs. We enable advertisers to connect with the right consumers at the right time in the right place. So when we're thinking about advertising, you may be asking yourself questions like you see on the screen. Who am I even trying to reach right now? How will I get this message across? And last but not least, what am I trying to do? What's my objective? Facebook ads connect you with millions of potential customers. When we predict that they have a need, using machine learning, we are able to show your ad of, let's say, tires to a Facebook user who has exhibited intent to buy, like scrolling through your competitors' websites for tires that you also happen to carry. By showing your ad to high intent potential buyers, we're able to take your dollars further than a billboard or TV ever could. So how can it actually work? Taking a look at the screen here, we've actually got a supermarkets case study. It's not the same thing, but they're leveraging the objective of store traffic, showing my ad to people that I want to physically visit me in store to help encourage people to shop at its multiple locations. Makes sense. By leveraging Facebook ads, Bilco was able to drive 45,000 store visits. Even more so, 7.8% of people who saw an ad physically visited them in store. Even more so, 15% of people who visited the store after seeing a Facebook ad made a return visit in the following week. So we've got prospecting, we've got loyalty and retention, and we've got top of mind awareness, all done through the objective store visits and store traffic. Next slide. So that sounds great, Sabrina, but that's a supermarket. What does this mean for me? Thinking about that go-to-market strategy, one use case is an oil change reminder. Let's say that you currently have a customer email list sitting in a saved folder somewhere on a computer. You're actually able to upload in this customer list onto Facebook. Let's say once a month, we're going to update it for all of the folks who have come in for an oil change recently. You would then be able to predict when your customers in that list would need an additional oil change, let's say in 5 months, and then set a Facebook ad to deliver that exact user on Facebook a reminder and another ad, reminding them of your store, and then even throwing in, let's say, a coupon to incentivize them into coming back. So now we're able to leverage store traffic, remarketing, prospecting, driving traffic, and last but not least, through that go-to-market strategy, that loyalty and retention. Next slide. So even through all of that, if you're still thinking to yourself, okay, that all sounds great, I just don't know if my specific customers are on Facebook themselves, this slide is to show you that they probably are. In the US every month, 223 million people are accessing Facebook. And ever since COVID actually struck, that number continues to tick up and is even higher now.
You know, that's really awesome information. I think one of the other two key pieces of information, you know, obviously with Instagram, you know, with Facebook owning Instagram, a lot of those ads that you can do here, you get to choose, right? Are you doing an ad on Facebook? Do you want it to go to the audience network, which will consist of displays? Could be Spotify. Again, they don't really release the specific list on there, but it's hundreds of apps inside of a network, if not more. And of course, you could also just choose to have it go to your Instagram and to your Facebook page. If you don't have an Instagram page, it will actually backlink to your Facebook page, and that's fine, right? So you can still push ads and promotions, and that ad reporting tells you, you know, what impressions were done where. So it's really transparent as to what happened.
Totally.
So I think one of the things too, just a quick question on this, Sabrina, you mentioned that machine learning, and I think, you know, Burt Brothers, you guys saw them in there. I remember 5-6 years ago when we first launched like redemptions, and was a new thing for ads out there. It's actually probably less than that, probably 3 years ago when redemptions was released. I ran an ad for about a week and I didn't see any redemptions come through. So playing chicken, I stopped the ad campaign because normally that's the way that you do things in marketing. Can you elaborate on that machine learning for everybody and about how long it takes?
Absolutely. So machine learning is very much so Wizard of Oz, man behind the curtain. All that it really does is it's able to understand specific users' behaviors. So whenever we're thinking about redemptions, and Eric, you bring up a great point, the machine learning was trying to figure out who to display your ad to. When we first upload an ad into Facebook, machine learning doesn't have a lot of context, right? We've just thrown an ad, I've given it a certain radius, I'm asking it for store visits, but I've never even advertised on Facebook before. What happens at this point is that the machine learning will go ahead and start to display your ad, trying to figure out who is the right type of person to show it to. We call it conversion when somebody physically visits you in store. So let's say I have now visited your shop because I saw your Facebook ad. At that point, the machine learning is getting better. It's saying, wow, somebody like Sabrina is the type of person who's going to visit in store. Who else can I show it to with similar behaviors on Facebook like Sabrina? Great. Eric also lives in the location. He's browsing those same websites that Sabrina is looking at. Let's try him. He probably has high intent. And so slowly but surely, after about 50 times or 50 conversions, machine learning is now very, very targeted and gets excellent at displaying your ad to the right person at the right place.
Yeah, so it's crazy. You know, we almost have to go the reverse of what our instincts tell us. You know, if you're doing a Google pay-per-click ad and you don't get calls in like the first week because that's instant success, right? You obviously want to abandon that. But just so everybody in this call knows, OSM does minimum of 3-month campaigns. I mean, we just had a client that signed up with $50,000 in ad budget for 1 quarter, right? And maybe that gets all used or we expand it, but the idea that they're looking for is, you know, what 3-month campaign can we run, because we've got to let that machine learning take place. So things like oil changes or tire rotations, think about those. The population always needs them. So why wouldn't you have a year-round ad running for them? Because if you upload your customer data and try to create a lookalike audience, that machine learning ends as soon as you turn that ad off. So you've just wasted 3 months of awesome data if you're constantly turning these things on and off. So I think that's another interesting point. Each ad has its own unique set of data that it learns from, and turning those ads off is almost detrimental if you do it too early. So just some really good facts for you guys on that stuff. Thank you, Sabrina.
Absolutely.
So I just want to mention this presentation typically takes an hour to go through. We're going to cut it close just because we had some awesome intros at the beginning of it. I guess I didn't plan on that, which is fine. But if we do have questions, I'm willing to stay a little bit after to help answer those at the end of this. So, but either way, those questions will be recorded and sent out. So I'm going to buzz through the rest of this. I'm sorry if it goes a little fast, but I do got to give John some time here. So with everything that we've talked about, how do you implement it? I'm a big fan of time blocking. You guys have all been preaching this probably to your employees or other management. Set aside an hour or two to either spend with your OSM rep to get them more information, improve it even further, or to do the research yourself. So make sure you're researching new features. Have an outline of what you want for your posting strategy. Do you want to be known as the coolest auto repair shop, the most professional auto repair shop? Do you just want to connect with people and have a fun atmosphere? Whatever that posting strategy is, but try to make sure that you have something in the funnel to post for weeks, if not months out. Now that you know that posting fun things will help with those organic impressions and increase that top of mind awareness. Review your profile for new features. Again, they launch these things even as a partner. We don't know when they come out. They just launch them. And the only real way to know is if you have it memorized. I'll give you an example that the service for CNR Tire is still not fully launched on over 50% of our clients. So even though CNR has it available in a system, you might not. So you have to literally check every month to see if those features open up for you, because they do slow rollouts. If everybody did it at once, it would actually overload the systems. And Facebook is the same way. Features are rolled out slowly to individual businesses, because if everybody loaded all their tires in there at once and plus their hair salon products, their system would break, right? Create an ad strategy, again, a long-term one, something that it could utilize the tools inside of Facebook, even if it's just website clicks, right? Just make sure that you're giving it the opportunity to work. And always, I know you guys probably get reported to death, but you know, those Google My Business reports and your Facebook, you know, insights, again, this is like free stuff, right? Like using OSM as your do it for me solution is a great way to keep up on it and make sure that you're optimizing this stuff. But, you know, like looking at your Google My Business phone call numbers, those are legitimate phone calls that you're getting for free. So that's a great way for you to know, you know, is the things that I'm doing out there helping those numbers? And that's actually the only way we can report it. So I know that maybe there are people that have used this or not. I mean, I'm not running a postcard campaign that I can put a phone number on. We really rely heavily on those. So last but not least, but make sure you get help when you need it, because if you do it right, you will see an increase. But these are all of the major updates that I could think of just in my head, right? I sat there, this took me 5 minutes to put together, just quickly bulleting. You can even tell because it's a messy format, but that is just a year to a year and a half of updates. And this was done in November of last year. We've already seen brand new features launching this year. And if you do it right, you will see massive results from it just over time. And I think that's the biggest thing that we always have to get used to is this isn't a magic wand. I think Dave was going to bring me some batteries for it, but you know, it's basically you do the right things, you do it consistently, you keep it updated, and you will get rewarded for it. These are long-term sustainable results as long as you continue to do it. So our clients over a 12-month period, and I actually do believe CNR is in this cumulative report, by the way, because he got to the benefits of, he had early access to that product catalog. So these numbers go up. This is just total search volume. So obviously we all know that the more searches you come up in, more opportunities. That does translate through the direct and discovery searches that we looked at. Those discovery searches do outweigh 3 to 1 at the end, but you do get more direct searches, and that comes from the top of mind awareness. That comes from building those relationships. But again, like you got to think about it. If your customers are shown the post from Facebook, not if you post, but if your posts are good enough to be shown to them, you know, you're talking to them 5 days a week, 3 days a week, whatever it is, right? So do that for a year, they're more likely to remember your name than if you know your posts are getting hidden. And that does result in more phone calls and more website traffic. So that is pretty big, right? So that's the end goal. More conversions come from that. But that's where we can have to turn it over to you and your team. So I'm going to actually turn it over to John Napoli, but my key takeaway is our Gen Z is here. We're more tied to digital marketing. Social, search, and shop are starting to merge into one feature, right? We need a great strategy that outlines them all, more video content. This is brand marketing, not just an advertisement, but having a proper ad service or plan will drive more of that awareness, and a complete strategy will drive more business. So again, my name is Eric. That was Sabrina. Please hold your questions. Chris, if you could at this time, I'm going to turn it over to John Napoli. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen, which I believe will turn it to you, and then you'll have to turn it over to Mr. Napoli, who's going to talk a little bit more about websites. So there, I've stopped.
Where is John? There we go. John, you should be ready to go. I sent it your way. And you are muted right now, John.
Okay, well, thank you very much again, Eric, Sabrina. That was great. You know, I think I tried to, over the last couple of days, think in my mind how to best describe that online solution that OSM is offering, especially when it comes to websites. But before we talk about websites, just quickly, let's go through this program book. This is going to give you a really good overview of all the different services that OSM is able to provide, right? That do-it-for-me solution. So again, all this information will be shared with everyone on the phone. The call's being recorded, which is great. We talked about a bunch of different SEOs, different things that are affecting our businesses online today. And then also a bunch of terms that we talk about, and making sure that everyone understands these new terms that keep changing. It's just like all the different social platforms, they keep changing. Trying to keep up with my 6-year-old in Minecraft is an amazing task in itself, right? And we're business owners, so we want you to understand, here's the terms. The partner program that we have for ITDG, we're going to get into each one of these individual pages, but we have some special partner pricing for ITDG. So the different programs that we offer, this is the setup. I really describe this as the foundation, right? The building blocks that even tie into our website solution. All of these different things make sure that we are doing the best things for you, and putting the odds in your favor when people are doing those local searches, those discovery searches. I think when Eric last told me we are almost at 200 fields that we are updating in your business profiles with the Power 5, the Facebooks, the Google My Business, Yelp, Twitter, YouTube, right? Once that foundation is built, then it allows us to really make sure that the marketing we're doing through Facebook is going to be working properly. It's going to be effective and efficient, and we're going to be spending your money the best way possible to make sure you get the best return on that investment, right? So this is our base program. It's the essentials. You know what? I just want you to go through and maintain all my directory management and respond to my reviews for me, but I have someone in-house that does all my Facebook posting for me. Okay, great. We got a solution for that, right? This is our core program. I call it the Power 5. The 5 most important platforms. Most importantly, that Facebook posting, that's where that 80-20 rule comes in. So we're engaging your local customers, getting them to like your content, share and comment on that, right? But we also know that the posting isn't as important as the ads. So you see within all of our packages, you have that $45 ad budget. That's where that machine learning comes into play, right? We're either doing the oil change or the tire rotation reminder to keep that top of mind awareness. And we got some special pricing on this for you, which I'll go over in the flyer next. This was a package that Eric and his team spent probably the last 18 months trying to work on. We have those customers, and I think a lot of you are on this phone call today that are looking for the next step, right? What am I doing different than my competitors down the street? And I'm looking for a company to help me with that. You know, I tell people all the time, I remember in about 2010 when we had some competitors that were posting on Facebook and things, and I'm thinking, I don't know if I would ever follow my local tire dealer's Facebook page. That's so weird, right? Now, today, that opportunity has changed in the advertising opportunity because of the phone. And one of the things I do in the morning, again, I'm 44 years old. My wife is 39. I have a 6-year-old. But the first thing I do in the morning when I'm drinking my coffee is I scroll through Facebook and Instagram. And the first thing that is dominating Facebook, if you're on Facebook personally or Instagram, is the stories that appear on the top, right? You don't see any other posting or anything, but you click on stories. And it's the easiest thing for me to do. All my friends and family that I like to watch, that first little story thing, and pretty much, you know what I do after that? I exit the app, which means that for me, I think about from a business standpoint, for us now to be able to do the Instagram stories, the Facebook stories and things like that, it gives you an opportunity now, what I think a lot of other people in this industry are not doing yet, right? That forward thinking. And we can do stuff and create packages like this because we have Sabrina at Facebook actually helping us. How do we make your program better? So when you're spending money with us, we're doing the best thing for these shop owners, right? And that's everyone on this phone. And that goes back to that experience. So we have 3 different programs. We have multi-location support. And the last couple things I want to talk about is the ad packages. So this is where you are spending above and beyond. You realize the benefit of that local top of mind awareness, whether it's an ad for tire sales. And I'm actually going to show you a live case study that we're working on right now, which the numbers are, they're super exciting to show finally, that kind of cradle to grave marketing. And then the other one I just want to show you some different ad examples. We'll get into a website here shortly, but the photo package. This has been probably one of the most exciting things. About 6 to 9 months ago, we launched this. We found a network of photographers across North America that we can reach out to. So for less than $1,000, we can get a photographer to come to your shop, take roughly 200 to 300 photos. We go through this questionnaire with you beforehand. So when that photographer gets to your shop, in an hour to 2 hours, they're taking a massive load of photography, which then we utilize on our Facebook posting, right? That is all unique content that helps with the engagement through our posting strategy. Those photos are also used on Google, Facebook, Yelp, right? All these other platforms. So you have unique content. But then more importantly, we also use them on the website. Here's the kicker. With a lot of our competitors, what happens is they come out there, they take the photos, you never get access to the raw files. we actually send you the raw files on Dropbox. So you can use them wherever you need to as well, right? That is a huge value. And it's been a great success story with utilizing those photos and seeing that engagement rate. So here's some examples of some of those professionally done photos, especially through web development. I'll show you some examples, but when we're developing the website and we have those professionally done photos, it just makes a world of difference, right? So here's the ITDG flyer, which is great, in the promotion that we wanted to put together to really get this relationship reignited again. You know, we're putting our best foot forward. We know that this industry has been through a lot, all of us personally, and work related. So we're going to do our core program, right? This is normally the $349. We're going to waive the setup fee, and the $280 plus the $45 is we don't want to take that ad budget out of that. So what we're telling you is we're going to waive the setup fee, and we are also going to waive that first month service fee. So basically you pay $45 to get started, and we're going to get your business, that foundation built for you on all these social platforms, and start helping you with your social media. Again, we're excited about this relationship. We have all these different upgrade opportunities that we talked about today. I'm going to quickly talk about the website. I have 2 minutes. I'll preface that conversation before I start the conversation with this. We could probably have a full day session on websites. I am going to hit the ROI points in less than 2 minutes to respect everyone's time. So a website for me, 20 years later, it's still the automotive and tire industry. There's only a few ways to redevelop the look and feel of a website. This is one of our customers, 3 locations in Arizona. Eddie is the owner. Again, he focuses on appointments and financing. So those were the 2 main call to actions on the website. Eddie has these beautiful facilities. He wanted to focus on that video on the homepage of the site, that engagement, right, to really sell his facilities. We get into his locations, services, beautiful website, 3 locations. His monthly investment with us is $100 per month. We have a setup fee, right? We don't nickel and dime you. We understand the value of a website. You need the website, but the value has dramatically gone down. There's a lot of marketers that say the website is still the best destination. We know from having Facebook and Google My Business as your destinations, there's more than just the website today, right? So doesn't matter how many locations you have, we don't charge by the location. Where we see the benefit in where the other investment comes in is through our partner Tire Connect. And Chance was on the phone, I think he had to jump off, but Tire Connect is owned by Bridgestone Firestone. They've been around since 2012. I believe as my job, okay, great, Chance. I believe our job is to convert, right? We can't create new people, but if we're going to run an ad on Facebook, when we drive them to that destination, we got to make sure that we're converting that customer. That's why we use Tire Connect. We don't try to build our own tire catalogs. Doesn't make sense. So the benefit for you is they are already connected with all of your US wholesalers. So if you think about on average, you're probably logging into 3 to 4 order screens, depending on how many suppliers you have. With Tire Connect, all of those are entered into one screen. Think about your counter people, the efficiency. They can now log into one screen. It shows all of the inventory levels. They can search by raw size, 265, 70, 17. It's going to show you inventory availability from all your wholesalers and the raw price from one screen. Most of the wholesalers, you can actually click order, and it will order the tires right from the wholesaler right to your shop. That's efficiency, right? That's not only a B2 consumer sales tool, it's your business to business sales tool as well. So here's what the Tire Connect solution looks like on one of our sites. This is Tire World down in Tampa, Florida. You see the site again, clean, responsive design. We know the most important thing is to be above the fold with shopping widget. So this is what that looks like on an iPhone 10. Look at how clean these results are. See out the door price. This is all powered through the Tire Connect e-commerce system. You have all your required services, you have optional services, all of those upsells, right? I actually have to shut these off to turn them off. That's how you assume that sale, right, on all these additional sales. From this point, you can do save a quote, request an appointment, or order tires. The other thing I love about Tire Connect is we know on average the tire consumer is researching 6 to 8 websites on average. We want to give them all that information, but we also know the main reason for not buying tires is, oh my gosh, I'm going to spend $1,000 on these tires. I don't even know for sure if they fit my vehicle, right? The ability to put as low as a 3% down payment allows your facility to create the relationship with the customer. The customer has buy-in because they put down $73 today, but the rest of the payment's going to be ran when they come into the physical store. Makes them feel a little less of buyer's remorse, right? But engages that customer. This is what I've been waiting for a long time, is to finally have the case studies to show what we're doing with a client like this. So the Firestone promotion started on June 10th, the $90 Firestone rebate. We ran a $250 ad on Facebook, driving the ad to this landing page, which is also provided by Tire Connect. These promotions are automatically displayed for the brands that you offer. And when someone clicks on this, it's actually reverse engineering. They're typing in their fitment, and now it's only going to show the Firestone tires that fit the vehicle that match the promotion. Very intelligent shopping. Look at what we've been able to do now through Google Analytics and what Chance has done with the building of the analytics on the backside. And this is what Sabrina probably gets excited about. I don't know if she's seen some of this through but so we know since June 10th, we drove 250 sessions from that Facebook ad to the website. Yes. There was a total of 55 conversions, creating $36,755 in tire quotes through Tire Connect. That is awesome. That starts to show what used to be impact on investment through social media for us to actually start showing return on investment. And this is what it breaks down to into the reporting that we can show you. And the best part is we don't charge for this stuff, right? This stuff should be sent to you on a weekly basis. So in the last week, those 55 people we sent from the Facebook ad to the website that either requested a quote, it was a $36,000, almost $37,000, because again, the price is in the catalog, 22% conversion rate, and they had one sale, which is right down right here, the Tire Connect order. So out of those 55, they actually had one person put in their credit card and purchase the tires. 13 people completed the lead, which was a request to quote. This is the type of transparency that allows us to do the advertising up front and then show you how it's helping your business on the backside. They're also doing some great things with Google products. And again, we could talk about websites all day. My goal today was to say that the foundation that we're building with the social media, having a very efficient vehicle to drive that traffic to, which is an inexpensive website, because at the end of the day, I'm going to build you this really nice looking website, but I'm not going to have the e-commerce engine in there, right? The power of our solution comes from Tire Connect and that ability to bring in that inventory and pricing from all of your wholesalers. So we've learned our primary product is social media, right? I would rather you save the money on the website and spend that money on Facebook ads to actually drive the traffic to that destination. And we know if we can drive more traffic and more conversions, you're going to continue on our social media program. So, again, that Facebook pixel, when we look at these websites, let me bring this up. Right here is that pixel. And all this little micro data is what sends back to Facebook and Sabrina and her team to make those ads more efficient and more effective.
That's pretty awesome, John. I think too, the big thing with Chance on the call, and again, we'll get into some questions here. I know we're over. We apologize for that. But along with our special, now we don't charge per location, but obviously if you have 20 locations and you need to pull in tire pricing, Tire Connect does have to facilitate that. So they do have some pricing, which we can get you a custom quote on. They have what we call our Tire Connect Lite, and then our highlighted solution, our Pro package, which does all the integrations that you guys want. Of course, if you're Bridgestone, they'll just deal with you directly because there's specials there. But non-Bridgestone, they have they're honoring our special as well. So whatever quote you get, they will back us up, and they will also give you they'll waive all their setup fees, which is normally $150 per location. So that's a lot of money. And then it's typically about $100 per location per month if you have different pricing per location. they'll waive their first month's fees as well. So they're here very confident in their product, and so is OSM. So really, and I just want to mention, I know he talked about the special for new clients. You know, Ralph, if any of you guys are interested in any upgrades, like that 650 package, that's just the first location, right? The rest of your pricing stays the same. We would give you the difference for free for the first month. Same thing if you wanted to swap websites, free for the first month. So you guys are just as eligible for that promotion as well when it comes to the upgrades of the program. So this is not just for new customers, it's for if you want to upgrade your services with us. But that said, I think we're good. You guys, if you have any questions, we'll shut up and let you ask away.
Terrific presentation, guys. We really appreciate it. Do we have any questions from the ITDG membership? ITDG team, do we have any questions? Dave, Sherry, Jeremy, Mike, Cheryl?
I'm good, Chris. Thanks. I really appreciate the time that our members took out of their day to listen to this, and Eric and John and everybody, Sabrina, we appreciate the time you guys spent with us. And Chance, thanks for jumping on.
Yeah, I again also would like
Not
to
a
thank
problem.
you all.
Thanks for having me.
This has been a great program for ITDG, and as you all know, social media is in our lives day in and day out. So if you're not on this type of program, you should really consider it. We've had a lot of success with it. On
So our
that note,
number, 855-676-1212. Just hit the extension for sales and we will do a free audit. If you obviously have your account manager, you can definitely give them a call and have them, you know, do any custom quoting, and I'll work with them to make sure you guys get the best deal possible.
Eric and your OSM team, thank you all very, very much. We really appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you, Chris. Thanks, ITDG. Thank you, current
Take care,
customer.
everybody.
Appreciate you.